Good morning. This is your weather briefing video for this Sunday. It's December the 15th. I'm meteorologist Bill Murray, and we got lots to talk about on this Sunday. It's nice to be back with you, kind of playing around with a new piece of software called OBS today. And this will be the first video that I've gotten to create with that. So let's get started. We'll start with a little bit of weather history. This morning, a memorable Alabama cold wave started on this date back in 1901. It actually ranks as the ninth coldest 6-day period. And now I'm showing you 7 days worth of temperature values here from the 15th through the 21st. But actually, if you cut it off on the 20th, you actually get it into the top 10, which makes it a little more significant. So I thought I'd throw it in here. But on the morning of the 15th of December back in 1901, it was 8 degrees in Birmingham. Had heavy rain the day before. You know the drill. We get it, occasionally. But the cold stuck around. It was 8 on the morning of the 15th, 8 on the 16th. The high on the 15th was only 27. We did poke above freezing on the 16th and barely above freezing on the 17th. But the morning low on the 17th was 13. We're back down to 8. We actually got snow on the morning of the 17th around 10 a.m. in Birmingham. Got a trace of snow. Snow fell for about 45 minutes, whitening the ground. Anniston and Huntsville reported 2 hours of snow, said the Birmingham Post-Herald. And the town of Scottsboro in Jackson County, northeast Alabama, reported that the snowstorm raged all day. So when you're going to get that kind of cold, you kind of, hope for some snow. It didn't happen for Birmingham so much, but it did happen for other parts of Alabama. And this 6-day period ranks up there. The average temperature over that period, 21.3 degrees, tying it with the 1977 cold wave, one I remember from January, was pretty significant. Of course, a lot of you remember the 1989 Christmas cold wave, which produced some snow over South Alabama. But, other than that, it's the mothers of all cold waves for Alabama, 1940 and 1899, that are, the ones that rank in that period. One of my favorite places, talking about snow, and here comes a train just in time. The town of Truckee, California, along the California Zephyr line, east of Donner Pass in California, a place that I love. And I got to ride a train, the California Zephyr, over Donner Pass last, I think it was February 29th. It may have been March 1st, but it was in the middle of a big snowstorm. A snowstorm that was bigger than this. Actually, they've had a couple of feet of snow today, and the camera's been beautiful. The winter storm warning just fell off at midnight Central Time, 10 p.m. Pacific Time, and maybe that crossing gate coming down was a false alarm. We'll maybe stick around here for another minute and see. But winter storm warnings were in effect. One of the more interesting parts of the winter storm warning was that they were, here comes a Union Pacific freight. I guess actually this is some sort of work car, probably. You might have been going over the pass to check out track conditions, because they had 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts, in addition to, well over a couple feet of snow, especially up on the passes. So, it was not a fun day to be out on Donner Pass unless you were in a nice, warm train, and those train crews do an amazing job. This is the National Watch Warning Map tonight, early on this Sunday morning, around 12:20 a.m., showing wide swaths of dense fog advisories. Lots of these areas have gotten, some winter storm conditions in the last 36 hours, including ice storm conditions along the Kansas-Nebraska border, eastern Nebraska into Iowa, seeing some reports of freezing rain today up into Wisconsin. Winter weather advisories continue tonight in southwestern Wisconsin, back into Minnesota. This system is going to go over the mountains tomorrow morning, and that's going to give a brief shot of snow from western North Carolina through West Virginia, the western portions of Virginia. Winter storm conditions possible in some of the mountainous areas of West Virginia and Maryland into southern Pennsylvania. The conditions in California are beginning to wind down, and we see that as we look at GR Earth tonight, showing the system moving through the Great Lakes. We've still got icing going on in Michigan. You see those icing reports coming in, sort of a wintry mix and some freezing rain coming in from the Iowa-Illinois border there a little bit earlier tonight. But you can see the conditions in California getting better. Here in Alabama, scattered showers began this evening. They haven't been too heavy. Temperatures have been in the 50s. Clouds increased during the day, precluded us really getting to see the Perseid meteor shower, unfortunately. But we did get a quick glimpse, most of us did, of the new full moon, the cold moon, as it's called. I understand a beautiful sight tonight, framed by some cloudiness, and was quite a beautiful sight to look at. This is what we expect temperatures to look like early on your Sunday morning across Alabama. It'll be coldest in the northeastern sections of the state, up around Scottsboro, 45 degrees, 49. Will be the temperature in Jasper, 48 in Coleman, 51 in Birmingham and Calera, around 52 around Montgomery, and 54 down in Florala. Temperatures for your Sunday highs are gonna didn't do that very well. Let's swing back over here and get your max temperatures for today. Chilliest in the northeastern part of the state, of course, 53. Up around Jackson County, 58 at Anniston, around 60 in the US 280 and I-22 corridor, 58 up at Hamilton. Tomorrow, Monday, promising to be a much nicer day. We're going to approach 90 degrees according to the national. 90 degrees, boy, that's a throwback to July and August, isn't it? And probably September. But 70 degrees will be fairly commonplace in the I-20 corridor. Upper 60s to the north of that, lower 70s to the south of that across Alabama. Here's the HRRR showing what you can expect off the radar starting Sunday morning. Scattered showers across Alabama, and as we go through the day, the scattered showers will progress to the east and northeast, gradually begin to thin. This is moving into the early afternoon. Here's this right here would be 3 o'clock, moving to 4 o'clock. Another batch of showers moving out of Mississippi, but you can see nothing very heavy. This is 8 o'clock tomorrow night, moving into the evening. So you can see showers are going to be in the forecast throughout the day on Sunday into Sunday night. High temperatures, again, topping out upper 50s to lower 60s. Let's go to the model of choice here that I want to use, and I'm going to move it back in time, scrub it back to Sunday. First, we see our disturbance moving through the Great Lakes states there. Strong high pressure over eastern Canada. We've got low pressure in the Pacific Northwest. The system over the Great Lakes continues to weaken as it moves east and exits the coast on Monday. Another system, probably accompanied by a little clipper, moves into the upper Midwest and through the Great Lakes Monday night, and into Tuesday. And then ridging takes over much of the United States. Another system moving through eastern Canada will affect the Great Lakes, the Northeast, and the East Coast by Wednesday night and Thursday. That system will give us enough impetus for a cold front to move through Alabama. We'll see that in just a minute. Another system spins up there over the Midwest by late in the week, Thursday and Friday. This thing tries to cut off and becomes a very cold eastern system, according to the 0Z run here from Saturday night. And, this is, pretty interesting system. We have the right blocking pattern. It'll be interesting to see what that can spin up. And that's, a stronger look than we've seen for here, in Alabama. There's a smaller system. We've seen runs, producing a little quick low down in the Texas Gulf coastal area, moving out of the Gulf of Mexico. This is kind of a different look. Very progressive. Getting out to the end of the period, we're beginning to look now to actually see New Year's Eve, and it looks like another system moving through Alabama at that time. That's just the upper pattern. What's that going to look like at the surface? as we go through time. Taking the GFS here, you can see those showers in the forecast as we march through Sunday. They sort of begin to evaporate. Monday, it looks like we get through most of the day fairly dry, according to the GFS. Showers move back into Alabama during the overnight hours Monday night, but again they sort of evaporate by Tuesday morning. We stay fairly cloudy on Tuesday. Rain ending in the northwest, a small chance of a shower, considerable cloudiness during the day. High temperatures around 68 on Tuesday. As we get into Wednesday, that upper system moving to our north and northeast will begin to give enough momentum for that cold front to actually move into Alabama. Showers going to be possible throughout the day. High temperatures, though, going to be mild still. Really too warm for this time of year. Calling for afternoon highs around 69 to 70 degrees. As you can see, as we go through Wednesday night, that system sort of begins to fall apart, and we move toward the day on Thursday. You should expect decreasing clouds. It's going to be much colder. Instead of 69 on Wednesday, Thursday is going to look like, lower to middle 50s. Some of the colder places in North Alabama may have a hard time getting out of the 40s. Wouldn't be surprised at that. We'll start off around 40. We'll start out probably 38, 39 North Alabama, 40 to 42 across central Alabama with middle and upper 40s to the south. But then, as we get into Friday, we may start off with a little bit of cloudiness. That system, passing to our northeast there, bringing a few light showers. Could see a few snowflakes up around Gatlinburg and the Smokies. But that could bring us some clouds on Friday. Right now, I'm calling for, early clouds, but giving way to mostly sunny skies by afternoon. Still chilly. Starting off around 31 on average, of course colder to the north and warmer to the south. Afternoon high temperatures, struggling to get into the lower 50s. But then it looks like by the time we get to Saturday, I think we get to sunny skies. It's not going to help much. As a matter of fact, with all that cold air advection going on, we're probably going to have a hard time getting out of the 40s across all of the northern half of Alabama. So starting off below freezing for most folks, and temperatures warming into the lower middle and upper 40s. Now, as we go through Sunday, Sunday looks sunny to me too. So does Monday. That cold air advection finally begins to drop off as we get toward Tuesday. This is Christmas Eve. Some wintry precipitation back to the west, western Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma. Looks like places like Kansas City. Maybe a little bit of ice for places like Lawrence and Topeka, Manhattan, eastern Kansas, with snows back into northwestern Missouri, back up into Iowa. So it could be a white Christmas for those folks. This look is kind of scary for an ice storm possibility for Arkansas. We'll look at that and see. This is kind of a new sort of appearance. But getting into Christmas morning, looks like decent snows spreading across Illinois into Indiana. Looks like southern Indiana, maybe the Ohio Valley area right there along the river. Kind of painting a little bit of wintry mix for northeast Alabama. We're right on the edge of it, though. That doesn't look too serious. But looks like, moisture increases pretty quickly by the night of the 26th. And we're pretty far out into voodoo territory here, but it looks like a good rainmaker comes in on the night of the 26th and 27th. Hopefully you'll be through with all of your returns. And, oops, didn't mean to do that. Let's make sure that our OBS is all lined up, and it looks like it's pretty good, so we'll keep that. But, as we get into the weekend there, looks like showers will be sticking with us through Saturday the 28th into Sunday the 29th. And, we saw all of that extensive low pressure in the upper pattern. And this is borne out at the surface. So, we're starting to see some pretty decent rainfall amounts. Let's see what that might look like. Some 72-hour amounts there by New Year's Eve. Pretty decent, 1.5 to 3 inches. Across north and central Alabama. Not too shabby for sure, but that's just one model run, and something we'll kind of have to watch. Sort of corroborating things here with the European. showing those showers for today. Here comes that second run, the rain Monday night into Tuesday. The European a little wetter during the day on Tuesday. Brings the system in during Wednesday. It's on out of here. Looks like it's out of here clearly by Thursday. That corroborates, checks off the forecast with the GFS. We get through Friday, Saturday, and we start to get out toward the end of the period. A little bit of moisture there around Christmas Eve, but nothing like the GFS is kind of portending. It does look pretty wet out toward the end of the period, though, and that makes sense. Temperatures over the next couple of weeks off the GFS, and let's line this up with the current model run. That was still the 18Z run there. But you can see we're warmer than normal, going below normal by Thursday, Friday, and next weekend. That makes sense. Going really chilly there by Saturday and Sunday. That makes sense. And, getting really, really, really cold there by Sunday night through Monday. So that, that kind of lines up. Then we get, back into a warming trend and some, fairly decent warm temperatures as we get into that Sunday period there. Matter of fact, I might sneak over here and look at the temperatures off of the GFS just to see kind of what that is, what that looks like. We don't. Well, let's see. We might have the new Mediagram here, and yes, we do, and fresh off the press. So this will be a good thing to share. This is the GFS. A lot of times we look at the National Blended Models, and I'll go back to that in just a second. But this is off that new 0Z run. Showing the nice temperatures here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, not so bad for your Sunday. Cooling off for Thursday and Friday. That checks out. But then really chilly, for Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Birmingham Bowl on the 23rd. That's going to be a fabulous matchup. We're going to sell that thing out. It will be kind of chilly, but, hey, it's going to be some good football at Protective Stadium. You see, we stay chilly, but then we, get into those warmer than normal conditions. And, of course, this is just one model run. We know that, and we understand that. But let's go back to the National Blended Models real quick and get the latest data from it. And there we go. Stick that up there and kind of see what that looks like. Yeah, it's portending the chilly weather coming, but, we'll take 54 all day long. We'll watch that very closely and sort of adapt our, forecast based on what the models say, as we get the 0Z run and the 12Z run, the 18Z run tomorrow. For sure. Now, let's take a look. We don't normally spend as much time as I probably should on things like the SPC outlooks. And now that I do it, there's not much to talk about, but I thought we'd kind of go through it here just a little bit. This is the day one, showing some thunderstorms and maybe a little thunder. Well, let's say, yeah, that's your day one, showing a little bit of thunder there from the Ohio Valley back into the northwestern corner of Alabama, central Mississippi, back into eastern Texas. For Monday, you got kind of the same thing. And day three, now that's really the same thing as the day two, because the new day three is, not out, not out at this point. But, if you go out through the day 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, the predictability is just too low. And off the SPC, this is what their 7-day QPF looks like. It looks like about 0.6 of an inch over the northwestern quarter of the area through Monday night, with about, 0.05 of an inch down to I-20. Second round coming through Tuesday, a little bit further south, about 1/4 inch. And then going on into Thursday, parts of northwest Alabama getting some pretty decent amounts, 1 1.25 inches. Down to I-20, you're probably getting, 1/3 to a 1/2 inch. So, not a ton of rain this week. and that's kind of where we'll be through the week ahead, and that covers the temperatures, the precipitation. So we'll go back to the temperatures real quick and look at those. This is sort of what we expect off of that. National Blend of Models. Very nice Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'm very sorry I'll be out of town because it would be a good day to grab a walk or a run, dodging showers if you are going to be out and about. Overnight lows comfortable in the 50s because for the next 7 days after that, it will not be quite as nice. We'll kind of have some freezing conditions there, especially through the weekend and into the early part of next week. Well, that's your weather briefing video for this Sunday, the 15th of December. I'll have notes on the blog, a complete update on the forecast coming up for you just after noon today. So stay tuned for that. And I'll be back next Sunday. Scott will be here next Saturday. James, the amazing James Mann, will be here every day this week with 2 days. We'll have Weather Brains Monday night. The guys are going to do a little weather roundtable, just a homegrown show, one of the favorite ones. We'll have a special show we'll record next Friday in anticipation of James's vacation. And we'll have more details on that as we get into the week ahead. And we will have our Christmas sort of tradition, the Weather Lady, on the Weather Brains YouTube broadcast on Christmas morning. A very fun story narrated by Birmingham's own Ken Osborne. Well, until I get the chance to talk to you next week, as I always tell you, keep an eye to the sky because you'll always have something fun to look at.